Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi to everybody. My name is Dr. Hairul Nizam, and I'm today representing Malaysia Institute of Bumiputera Property Professional, or BumiPRO. And I would like to thank them actually for letting me to have this session to share my thoughts and my knowledge a bit about the profession of real estate in Malaysia. Okay. Among the objectives of Malaysia Institute of Bumiputera Property Professional, or BumiPro, actually is to recognize and uplift skills and competencies of Bumiputera professional in the real estate industry in Malaysia. So, for today talk session, I would like to share my ideas about the concept of the community-based approach for estate agency practice. Okay. So, as for the introduction, maybe we all know that the property market situation is currently unstable in Malaysia, and all parties need to improve this situation, especially those involved in property sectors. Therefore, the estate agency plays as essential role in this matter as well. And there are a few ways actually where an estate agent might be able to help stimulate the market. However, the issue is that the estate agency will only be willing to help stimulate the situation if they are given such payment, as we all know about it. And it is most likely impossible for them to do anything voluntarily. So this is the idea of how community-based approach can be beneficial for estate agency practice. Okay, and maybe it will be one of the way on how to stimulate the property market situation. A simple situation to understand this was when property owners intended to sell their property, they would contact normally an estate agent to help them market the property they own. Usually, there will be two types of clients that actually, the first one, maybe he wanted to, the owner wanted to obtain instant cash and wanted to sell their property to buy another property. Okay. So another situation whereby the property owner are not so desperately to sell the property. So maybe they would like to keep their property, and this is the situation where they want to get a constant income from the property they have. Okay, so the estate agent might encourage this type of property owners opt for a rental. Okay, so this situation may be apply when, in particular, for areas where demand for rental is high. So the chances of succeeding this methods are quite high. Okay, and rental actually is one of the best option, because during the unstable economic condition, it will be difficult to find property buyers because everybody is struggling financially. Okay, so finding a tenant will be an option that can help the owner and also stimulate back the market situation. Before we go further, okay, let us look back the definition of estate agency, where it start with estate agent, which who actually a person whose name has been registered under the registrar and under the book of register, whom the board of valuers or estate agent or property managers uh, issued an authority to practice. Okay, and estate agency practice means holding oneself out uh, to the public or to an individual or firm as they ready to act for a commission, fee, reward, and other consideration on the sale and or purchase activity or any other disposal of uh, land, buildings, or any interest therein. This one you can refer to the Act of Valuers, Appraiser, Estate Agents, and Property Managers, 1981. So it all actually related to the reward or fee, actually, that can be gained from the activities that I mentioned just now. Okay, and if you look at the international standard of coming from the RICS professional statement, a real estate agent means any person who, in the course of business, including a business in which he or she is employed, is instructed to dispose of or acquire an interest in real estate. Okay. Now we go to the definition of a community, right? A community can be defined as a geographic place such as a town, a village, or neighborhood. So it can be a small area or an urban neighborhood, okay, suburban, and it is also define the community also can be defined as a group of people who share a sense of belonging, shared identity, and other values or qualities. So to understand the definition of community, it comes with the approaches that a community could be different depending on the type of community we have. Okay, community-based, the definition of community-based in the meantime has a broad definition as it depends on who is involved in it and the community's issues. All right. Uh, in the literature, it mentioned that community-based refers to a philosophical approach in which communities have an active role in highlighting and addressing the issues that matter to them. So what does this mean? This means that community play their roles in solving an issues that arise in their area. Okay. Community-based also means that being in the community that the people serve geographically and philosophically, where a community-based approach invites the communities to actively participate, okay? Actively design, actively together develop and deliver their strategies for the benefit of their communities. Okay. So far, as we all know, in our country, this community-based approach approach are taken by the government sector, and it comes in many forms, especially from the local government or local authorities, which will take the responsibility. Okay, so the local authority actually focusing on other than property sector like the healthcare, tourism, education, and other fields that actually the community-based approach at the same time will help the local community to solve their issues that arise. Okay. Throughout our research, actually, there is no uh, 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 a definite definition of community-based estate agency. However, looking at the definition just now that I mentioned, the community, the estate agency, and the approach of community-based in practical, it looks like there are the chances or there are opportunity to explore more on this idea or concept, right? So basically, a community-based estate agency is not a widely discussed matter. Okay, so it is actually essential to study first the right definition of community-based together with estate agency. Maybe we can look it separately to see the meaning and relationship in order to come up with the right definition of community-based estate agencies. Okay. Now, for example, the estate agent maybe address the issues of empty property in a community areas, right? So, community-based approach for this issue require people from the community to participate and also design and help them to develop strategy to address the empty or unoccupied property in Malaysia. As we all can see, the numbers of empty properties in Malaysia, which are not unoccupied economically, increase from year to year. Okay, and it seems like there is no one actually consider it as a serious issue except the property owner individually. Okay, and this property owner may come from uh, a singular property owner, or maybe it comes from a developer side. Okay, when they own overhang properties, that unsold properties, which are taking so long for them to sell the properties, which leave it empty just like that. Okay, and I'm not going to talk about what's the reason actually on those why the empty property is happening. Okay, but imagine if this situation, okay, uh, the estate agency play his part, okay, play their part, okay, actively, okay, and using this understanding of community-based estate agency approach, okay, it might uh, find certain ways to reduce the issues, the property issues in one community areas. Okay, so if you look at this community-based estate agency, uh, number one, the engagement of the local community and the estate agents in addressing issues in the community area can be seen as a process which involve community member of the local area working with estate agency, okay, in dealing with these with the issues of property they have in the area. Okay, so we looking into the engagement between these two both sides, the local community and the estate agent. Okay, community-based estate agent also means that estate agent working with the local community to bring the desired level of matters affecting the community area itself. Okay. The third one may be the community-based estate agency may help in reducing the amount of empty property in the areas. And as we all know, estate agent can use their authority to practice interacting with the community members and the market of the property. While the community members, okay, especially the property owners, can play their roles in avoiding leaving empty and neglected properties in the area. Okay, so the engagement between them actually will result in different measures to address the increase of empty properties. Okay, so it looks like the community-based estate agency uh, defined as a personal relationship of a real estate agent with their local surroundings, okay, and through the relationship, the estate agent will be known to the issue pertaining to the neighborhoods, okay, pertaining to the local authorities or local government, okay. So the community-based estate agency approach will let the estate agent to be accepted, okay, in the particular local area. Okay, why? Because estate agent who has an in-depth knowledge of their local community, I think can surely deliver the best of their position that is unique actually to help build better communities. Okay. So basically the effort could be delivered by the local authorities with the local communities in the area actually. Okay. But known as the government body that take charge of the area in their jurisdiction, okay, the local authorities have done many things to sustain, harmonize the communities, such as the healthcare, education, and tourist attraction, for example. Okay, but looking at the position, okay, the peranan of the estate agent also can participate, okay, with the local authority to organize a talk or a meetup with the surrounding communities and discussing and addressing the problems, and then maybe come up with the idea on how to market the properties to the outsiders. Okay, so it is a need that actually the active roles shown by both local authority and uh, estate agency uh, show the need for relationship and engagement between these two parties, and it will benefit the communities on the addressing any property issues. Okay, so that's the basic idea of what is community-based estate agency is all about. Okay, so if we go through the literature on community-based estate agent, okay, there are roles of estate agency that can be applied to the relationship between them, the estate agency, and the local property owners as a communities. Okay, and these basic roles of the understanding of these basic roles actually is quite common in the practice, right? Uh, for example, number one, the first role actually to advise and guide the the clients on the property matters. So basically, the client referring to the owner or the buyer. Okay, so advising them actually is giving a trustworthy advice on terms of sales, purchase, or maybe lease or tenancy. Okay, or any other structures with regard to the properties. Okay. So, as we all know, buying through an agent increase the supply of houses or property which available to buyers. Okay, so agent actually can provide all the information on quality of the different houses and neighborhoods which they are located in the to their prospective buyers. Okay, so advising and guide the client on the property matter is one of the roles. Okay, so we have to understand this first, right? From the literature, the literature as well, uh, looking at the role of estate agency as a market middleman, okay, or market middle person, okay, because estate agent has a unique position where he or she does a great deal of control over the property market transaction, okay, on behalf of the owner. Okay, and it comes with obvious principle and ethics, okay, of the real estate business that presenting estate agent, okay, uh, to the sale, but actually at the same time, the estate agent also secretly use control in the process of this real estate business. Okay, so it does acquire the estate agent competence, knowledge, and experience, as well as uh, uh, experience, okay, in the property market. Okay, so the strength of this estate agent actually comes from his community's social values and subsequent acts along with these values. Okay, so so that's why agent know better regarding the market trend in his local area, And this actually saves the time and money for helping the property owners, all right, in defining the needs and determines the target market for the property they are dealing with. Okay. Another role actually, basically looking at the providing a marketing plan for the property. Okay. So if we talk about the price, okay, the type of promotion, okay, and how to serve the listing of the property, okay. Marketing is the most important part to promote all these things, okay, and it can attract the potential buyer to buy the property, okay. So as we all know, most of the house buyer, okay, to find their home or their house, uh, their property, uh, uh, most of them will refer to real estate agents. Okay, so as we all know that this marketing for property require a lot of budgets. Okay, for advertising and material in promoting the property. Okay, and marketing can acknowledge people for the existing and uh, physical features of the property as well as finishes use. Okay, so normally estate agent will sit and discuss together with the best marketing tools. Okay, to uh, to to help out. Okay, selling the properties on behalf of the property owners. So basically, estate agency can use any form of marketing strategies. Okay, uh, provided they know the limitation and a standard of marketing plan according to these their what they call Malaysia estate agents standards in Malaysia in practice. Okay, okay. So they should be creative. Okay, on this thing. Okay, especially during the current pandemic situation that actually has a lot of restrictions. Okay, from selling the properties. Okay, so this is the marketing plan. Preparing the marketing plan for the property also one of the roles of estate agent. Okay, to help out the property owner communities. Okay, so that they can uh, uh, contribute to solve the issues of uh, property owner community in the areas. Okay. Beside that, the estate agent also based on this community-based approach, maybe can enlighten. Okay, the role of estate agent is to enlighten the property owners regarding the government incentive in property sector. Okay, so we heard a lot of government incentive and to activate or to help to stimulate the property market, okay, by the government, especially following the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. Okay, the Malaysian government has introduced several of incentive for property buyers. Okay, in order to encourage home ownership in the country and reduce the impact of a weakening real estate market. Okay, this is very good actually. However, this policy, this incentive uh, are not entirely reached to the knowledge of the property owners, right? So it is our or the estate agency part to enlighten this thing to the property owners who actually having problems on selling their properties and leave it empty, for example, or any other property issues. Okay, and estate agency will play a role as a consultant for them on this thing. Okay, on advising on how to react on these government incentives. Okay, in property sector. Another role of estate agency as well. This is what I found in the literature is on assist the local authority, okay, with the property issue in the community area. So this is maybe a significant point that related to our talk today, okay, because as we all know, the government body will not be an easy work for them to do. Okay, everything. Okay, so looking at this, looking at these issues. Okay, the estate agency can assist the local authority. Okay, especially on the issues on overhang, the empty properties in the property areas. Okay, so how actually as the estate agent can help out actually is sit together with local authorities, the local communities, and maybe the developers to discuss these issues, the property issues, and come up with a great solution in how to uh, publish the property, the issues of property among the community of the property area, okay, and hopefully it will increase the property market transaction in the area as well, okay. So the cooperation between local authorities, okay, estate agent, okay, can give the idea that there's a possibility on not only helping out the community, the property owners community in terms of unsold or unoccupied property, but also maybe in terms of creating new job opportunities, okay, and create better environment, okay, and also encourage or stimulate the community living, the quality of community living in the area. Okay, so estate agent can play a bigger role on this as well. Okay, so throughout our research, actually, we met a lot of many negotiators, and the opinion that we receive actually quite similar with what we found in the literatures, okay, whereby these in issues of uh, local properties in a local area, particularly in a neighborhood. Okay, they say that collaborating with the property owner to advise them, okay, is part of their job as well. All right. Okay, but in order to overcome or maybe to ease the issues of empty property that actually not suit for the market. Okay, they actually advise the property owner to reduce the property price. Okay, so they actually advise the property owner on reducing the property price because it will indirectly help the agent promote the property and attracts the potential buyer to purchase the property quickly. Okay, and also by reducing the property price, okay, it also can help those who have the desire to buy a property or rent a house, maybe. Okay, for example, reducing the property price can indirectly attracting the new buyers. Okay, to own a house. Okay, because as we know, nowadays, some might struggle to own a house, okay, if the property price is higher according to the market price, okay. So, beside reducing the property price, estate agent also can help the category of B40 income group to own a house, okay. So, this actually benefit the property owner as well to generate income, okay. And the same goes to rental market, whereby the estate agent can together come up with rental strategies, all right, in order to solve these uh, empty properties or on the to generate income, okay, of the property. Right. So the agent as well can also advise the property owners, okay, once they engaging with the property owners, okay, in terms of helping out them, okay. So uh, advise them on how to uh, attract more on property buying, actually, in terms of uh, cancelling the deposit and pay the booking price. Okay. Uh, Throughout their experience, it helps a lot actually to attract and gain potential clients' interest in purchasing the property. Okay, so it will help the potential clients, the potential buyer, to be more focused on getting the loans to purchase the property. Okay. Another point on this activity of the estate agent as well is estate agent can assist them on the marketing part. Okay, so as we already know, marketing technique in creating and distributing relevant content to attract people to buy the property is essential. Okay, so estate agent actually has to come up with ideas and use every platform that might help to advertise the properties on behalf of the property owners. Okay, and nowadays many platforms can help the marketing effort throughout the social media. Okay, like Facebook, the Instagram. Okay, and we believe actually the estate agent have this always creative thinking of having a better ways to promote all those empty properties, okay, on behalf of the property owners. So all this actually is the approaches, the roles that estate agent can use to help out the property owners who are having uh, issues on how to sell their property in the local area. Okay, so we have seen a lot of benefits just now from the approach of community based, whereby the estate agent comes in, okay, to uh, help out the property owners community in one area. Okay, but there are certain criteria that estate agent need to fulfill first, okay, in order to do that. So this condition and this requirement actually comes with challenges of what community-based estate agency approach all about. Okay, the first challenge may be in terms of inadequate financial resources. Okay, so in order to produce effective results from a community-based estate agency approach, there must be a comprehensive planning and efficient efforts need to be created first. Okay, so especially in marketing the planning to reduce the property issues, like just now I mentioned the empty properties in the local area. Okay, so all these marketing efforts, okay, need to be funded with sufficient financial or budget uh, from parties that involve. Okay, so as we all know, even though the marketing efforts during the pandemic of COVID-19 is quite not so burdensome, because we have using a visual medium, okay, such as social media, to market the properties. Okay, so it is an advantage. Okay, but however, it is not enough if the marketing efforts are only focusing on online platforms. Okay, so it also needs to be marketed through physical marketing, and all of these efforts need adequate financial resources. Okay, so especially nowadays during the unstable economic circulation, okay, due to pandemic of COVID-19, okay, it is harder actually to obtain funds or financial resources from any institution or organization, okay, in the local area to support this community-based estate agency. Okay, it will be a significant challenges actually for community-based agency estate agency to be success. Okay. Second challenge of community-based estate agency actually uh, looking at this I I call it as a poor management and administrative system. Okay, in order to plan this community-based estate agency approach, okay, it will not only involve the local people at that place, but it also need a continuous contribution from higher management, such as from local authority or local communities, local committee. Okay, these two parties need to contribute ideas and opinion on how to help reduce issues such as empty property I mentioned just now in the local area. Okay, since they are more aware of demand and needs within the area. Okay. Uh, however, maybe because they are already burdened with their daily tasks, okay, and the local daily task, and it is not an easy task for getting everybody to involve, okay, especially for the local authority and the local community in their areas, okay, to stay focused and motivated to achieve their objective, okay, in terms of reducing the property issues, okay. It is not easy actually because a lot of things actually they have to do and it's like additional work, okay. So because of this actually uh, we see this challenge as of this opportunity, okay, to help out this local authority or local committee of this local area, okay. So to strategize any planning in supporting the work of community-based estate agency. Okay, so the third challenge maybe in terms of the third challenge is actually related to the lack of public awareness from the local community area themselves on the property issues. So as I mentioned earlier, effective result uh, that we need good cooperation and contribution from all related parties. However, at the side of local people or the public in the local area, some of them may lack awareness of the importance of fully occupied property, or in other words, the positive impacts of having zero empty property in their local area. Okay, they only saw that the impact of empty properties only directly affects the economic aspect of and not the other issues. Okay, so the property issues impact actually is not placed directly towards the local communities. And that's the reason. Okay, so why this kind of local community group may not actually contribute the efforts towards succeeding, okay, this idea of community-based estate agency. So because of this challenge, okay, it's quite hard actually to implement the concept of community-based estate agency approach. Okay. Another challenge will be from the property owners themselves who refuse to cooperate. Okay, if we want to do this community-based estate agency concept, the property owners must give their full cooperation. Okay, so why actually this happening? Why they refuse to cooperate? Actually, is due to their self-interest. Okay, we actually have met a few estate agents. Okay, and according to them, most of the owners okay consistently insisted them on the estate agent on selling their property with a selling price above the market price. Okay. even though they already know the current issue of market situation surrounding their places, but they still did not want to cooperate with other property owners and reduce the selling price of their property for their interest. Okay. As for them, they assume that they still need to pay real property gains tax and other costs in selling the property. Okay, so it is not worth selling the property at a lower price, especially during this economic situation. Okay, so that's why they prefer to leave their property unoccupied for a period time rather than sell them uh, at a lower price. Okay, so if we want to look from this uh, uh, estate agent experience, actually, we have the feedback whereby uh, asking them whether this community-based estate agency uh, can be success, all right, through their own practical experience. Okay, because doing this community-based estate agency actually uh, is quite normal for them in the real estate field. Okay, so they have been doing it so far. Okay, but the approach is not widely uh, uh, documented. Okay, so the community-based estate agency concept actually is there already, but for them, it's just like a individual approach. Okay, so one of them said that it's actually difficult to meet the criteria of community-based estate agency. For instance, okay, the client forced the agent to get a buyer within 1 month. Okay, forcing. All right. Okay. Consequently, the marketing process actually is slowing down uh, due to our recent pandemic issues. Okay, and uh, another estate agent said that the feedback that we have from him said that the most challenges doing the community-based estate agency is the competition between estate agent. Okay, the agent explained that it is normal when well-known estate agent in the area gains more client in the community. Okay, that also is quite challenging for them to compete. Okay, between estate agent. Okay, and then uh, another feedback we have actually in terms of how estate agent aware that property listing and income is a limit to focus on one community area only. Okay, so what he meant actually, if one estate agency just focus in one community area, they afraid that the listing of the property and the income from that listing might be limited. So they would like to focus more on or bigger area of the community. It helps them to generate more income. Okay, that also become their challenges of applying this community-based estate agent. Okay, so the question will be, who's going to pay these estate agent fees, and how they going to generate income of of these community-based activities. Okay, so I would like to answer this question in my next session, hopefully, inshallah. All right, and I would like to see again you all in discussing this topic. All right. So, as a conclusion, to summarize, okay, while a community-based estate agency is a different concept actually in Malaysia, particularly in the real estate agency industry, okay, it is still an interesting concept approach that can be explored and possibly implemented in Malaysia to address the property issues that has degenerative effects on the local communities and property market, okay, such as decreased property value and increased crime activities in the local area, okay. And then, although there will be undoubtedly be some challenges to this approach, community-based estate agent approach, it is still a possibility as a community and society become increasingly important in today's world, as evidenced by the current COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, because of this COVID-19, it actually affected the economies. Okay, ravaged the economies and the social activities, and in which the community has played an active role actually in preventing the disease from spreading. Okay, and furthermore, if we look at the markets, okay, where speculation is widespread, okay, causing issues such as overbuilding, overdevelopment, okay. So in one particular area, okay, estate agent actually can assist this, okay, at the very least in preventing the problem from becoming much worse by enacting several measures that will benefit not only to the property market in that particular area, but also to the communities and resident in that area. Okay, as I mentioned just now. So, so lastly, the idea of community-based estate agent actually aims to improve the quality and the reputation of real estate agency services, whereby which this quality and reputation of real estate agency services can become the most essential components in the sector. Okay, so for that, I would like to end my session today, and I hope if there is questions, you can message me or contact our Malaysia Institute Bumiputera Property Professional BumiPRO Secretariat, and we will look your question and we will try to our best to answer the questions, right? Or if you have the opinions. So for that, I hope we can see you all again later in the next session, inshallah. And for that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.